I'm Eric Parker. This morning on CT21, as a new COVID vaccine is added to the arsenal, there are high hopes all adults will get their shots by the end of May, but scheduling those shots has not been easy. Plus, should Connecticut legalize recreational marijuana? We're getting interesting insight from law enforcement with some differing opinions. And a week from today, clocks spring ahead 1 hour. But should the clock run out on this twice-a-year time change? It's all ahead this Sunday, March 7th. CT21 starts right now.
From Channel 3, this is Connecticut's most watched current affairs program, CT21, with Eric Parker.
Good morning and thanks for being with us. Let's get right to it. It was quite a week here in Connecticut. A new group of Connecticut residents became eligible to get their vaccines. Johnson & Johnson delivered its first shipment to Connecticut. A partnership to make even more of the J&J vaccine doses was forged with Merck. And finally, the president said all adults would have access to COVID vaccines by the end of May. Here to talk about all of that from a new vaccine site at the Xfinity Theatre is Hartford Healthcare President and CEO Jeff Flaks. Jeff, if I told you a year ago that Bon Jovi and Springsteen would be out and Jeff Flaks would be in at the Xfinity, you wouldn't have believed me, but these sites are pretty important, right?
I definitely would not have believed you, Eric, to say the least. These sites are critical. These max vaccination sites, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to reach the community. They're efficient, they're safe. We can do thousands of people a day in centers like this. We have 6 of them built throughout the state of Connecticut.
Now, tell me about setting up appointments and how it's going through Hartford Healthcare. Everywhere I go, everyone I talk to is talking about if they're in that first wave that the governor designated by age, did they get an appointment yet? What kind of vaccine are they getting? What are you hearing? How's it going?
Right, well, we've done a great job when we look at people 75 and older, first responders, people working in healthcare, with 75% of people 75 and older getting vaccinated in our state. Today, we've made progress. Every day it's getting better. Across our health system, we're creating new mechanisms to reach more people. This center is a great example. We can do several thousand vaccinations a day here. We're going to do 2,500 teachers by the end of today, Sunday. So we're making real progress every day, Eric.
What is the metric people should be thinking about? Should they be hoping to get a vaccine this week, this month? How far out are you looking to schedule right now, and what's success at this point?
So, the issue is how much vaccine that comes into the state and through the federal government and how it gets distributed. Our health system this coming week is scheduled to do between 14,000 and 15,000 vaccines. But our capacity that we've already stood up is 80,000. So our rate limiting factor is how much vaccine comes into the state. So look, if we get more vaccine, and we're hopeful with the president's latest announcement, there'll be more vaccine. We're built for it. We can do it. We're going to dedicate every resource we have within our health system to open up more appointments, bring people more through this process. So, Eric, today people are booking out 4, 5, and 6 weeks at points in time. But if more vaccine comes in the state, we'll be bringing those visits up daily. We're committed to getting every vaccine each week we get into the people's arms as quickly as possible, and certainly administer it all each week.
Obviously, the news we started with about that Johnson & Johnson vaccine, not only is it a one-dose vaccine, but also now there's this move to make more of it even faster and get it to the states. How does that change your efforts, and should people be really concerned about which vaccine they're signing up for?
It's great news. More vaccine is all good news. More manufacturing capability, more distribution, very positive to our fight here on the front lines. Our clinicians and our physician leaders advise that the best vaccine to get is the one that's available to you. All 3 of these vaccines have gone through the rigorous FDA process. We're delighted at how many volunteers and how many people are stepping forward to get the J&J vaccine. We received 7,400 doses yesterday. We've already started administering it at large scale today. So we're very excited. But what I would point out, Eric, is in our website, we actually provide choice. So people who are registering at Hartford Healthcare can choose Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J, or they can choose first available. So we're trying to make it as accessible as possible, but our team advises choose the first available.
And we heard that from the governor's office. One thing they wanted to avoid was people showing up and saying, oh, it's that vaccine, I don't want that today. So getting that information out there certainly is important. What do you tell people about wait times and patients, and how is that messaging changing? Obviously, it depends on the vaccine supply, but what do you want the patients who are watching this morning to know?
Well, it changes daily, so we want people to continually check in because more vaccine becomes available, we create more appointments, so it's not static. And we're certainly working hard in centers like this to do this safely, to do this with great respect and recognition, appreciation for every person who comes through our vaccination center. And we're working very hard, both in follow-up, secondary appointments, to ensure that we can make this as seamless as possible. Our team is really doing an exceptional job, and I tip my hat to everyone in our system who's working to do this the best we can.
Well, we certainly tip our hat as well. We've seen the people in the chairs behind you turn over while we were talking, Jeff. I know you couldn't see it, but we could. It's a relatively quick process once they get in there. Is that fair?
It is. We do it very safely, very efficiently. The process is very well developed, and it's quite rigorous. So again, a center like this, we can do several thousand people a day. We have 6 mega centers throughout the state. But importantly, Eric, we also send out 2 mobile vehicles to 2 different locations a day, so 10 locations a week. We're sending vans out to bring people to these mega centers. This is about access, and our goal is to get our vaccines to as many people as quickly as we can, to do it equitably, to ensure that it's fair, that it's safe, and that we can make it as available as all possible.
All right, Jeff Flaks from Hartford Healthcare. Jeff, we appreciate a few minutes this morning, and we applaud the good work that you and your staff are doing. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Eric.